Greetings, blessings, salutations once again. Thank you for returning. Welcome to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I'm going to call it, this is Talcott time. This is some time for me to be me, to offer some perspectives that I hope, and I've prayed. I've prayed that the right words flow through me to reach the open minds and maybe soften or strengthen the hearts of those who might hear. So praise God. Just Jane bringing the life and the light. AV, howdy everyone. Timmy, God bless. Don't judge me. And for those who continue to come in, God bless. Thank you for joining. For those interested, please, the link is already pinned to the top of the chat. And I kind of want to continue some of the conversations, though, that I've been developing in the past recently, talking about the essence and the spirit of truth, maybe the spirit of forgiveness. This is something I was thinking of earlier today. So no man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. Beautiful, beautiful wisdom, brothers and sisters. We each change through the day, and today is a new day. I'm hoping those who have been involved in the past will start to allow themselves to see some change within me, within themselves. Speaking of change, so I did happen to tune into the Proper Instruction Motivates People broadcast earlier. And on the stream, I heard that contributions were received by Paul from Mr. Nubs. So he is no longer blocked from the chat or from the panel. Does not mean that I'm really seeking his his company by any stretch of the imagination. But I can allow people to change. I look forward to change, brothers and sisters, and see the spirit of peace. The spirit of peace is with me, and it's within you. When you don't find, when reasons for conflict are not raised from within you, there's a spirit of peace that always is. And so today, the thumbnail, it really is, my purpose is to end wars. I know for a fact humanity can do better. I truly believe humanity deserves better than this nonsensical, narcissistic, egoic, trauma-based fucking society of conflicts and slavery. It really is. It's time for us to find the peace within us, within our thoughts, our hearts, and our deeds, so that we can share peace with each other. And then peace grows. Peace is not achieved through victory and submission, annihilation of the other. That's fucking foolishness, man. Well, we've got some guests, so welcome, my brother, Tommy.
I would say we have limited time till the birdies make their rounds, but you could spare us the company if that's a problem.
I'm going to flow with the day. I've encouraged myself today to exercise patience and to try to be a good example of a gentle man. That is my goal. Doesn't mean...
Okay. Can you hear my TV or my fan in the background?
Not too bad. You actually
I can turn
good.
either down. Just checking.
How is your day going, brother?
Oh, I'm fighting that good fight. I don't know if you saw me on the Unslavius channel, but he put me through a whole lot of waiting and off on tangents to try and tell him that a, a plate planet catcoin person is allegedly facing 36 months for standing up for rights and freedoms. And then he realized that I don't run. He screwed himself out of talking about that. And I'm still looking for the details, Jack. I'm not sure why this guy's in jail. He's a friend of Z, or was a friend of Z before Z got the spirit of his daddy in him and started burning bridges. But I just know, yeah, I had originally wanted to talk to him about Catcoin stuff, and I was always looking to get with him. And apparently he is incarcerated and facing up to 36 months. So I want to find out what that's all about.
All right. I can't offer any information on that,
Nah.
but I'm curious. This is a thought I've been having, and I prepared in myself that I was going to start asking this question.
Let me get my TV. It's throwing me off.
Yeah, your audio in the back is echoing a bit. But it seems from my memory, I've had very few opportunities to actually discuss the things that I say. Like today, the spirit of peace, the absence of conflicts. Even though it's fun to fight the good fight and to tell ourselves that we're winning, brother, there's wars that people are dying in, and I know you know there's dying.
Mm-hmm. I know they signed on that dotted line too. You were one of them. And you're still alive.
Oh, hey, 76.
And those of us, if we are correct about the one true God, dying things actually the best bet.
Hey, Tom, hold on, please. 76er, God bless you. Thank you for the contribution. Mostly the encouragement and the words. The fiat definitely got my attention, but blessings are available for all of us. See, this is what's so easily misunderstood. God is the good. So seek the good as you live, and we live right now. So I see the good. Thank you, brothers, for joining the fellowship, sharing the afternoon.
God is the all of it.
Correct.
One of the most
to know God, seek the good. Don't
you gave me a lot of credit one time. You said, "Thank you, Tom. That was beautiful." And you eventually threw me out of that show. But I said, all this horrible stuff that happens, while also from God, it's so you can show who you are to your God. Yes, there is war, Jack. What are you going to do? Show your God. Because sometimes those wars are fought on his behalf and justified.
Tom, I truly trust and believe that when people join with what I'm offering, when people actually discuss what I'm saying, we can become a part of ending wars. We really
do
can
discuss what you're saying.
No. Hi, Regina. God bless you. Thank you. I am a big fan of yours, my friend. The light you offer.
Hey, share Hippie Chick's comment, how like a rational voice means I'm on drugs.
Show who you are to God. Whoa, yeah.
Well, she spelled God wrong. Capital G, hippie.
Here. What I have come to humble myself to is that God is the truth behind and within all things. And so how do we know who we are unless what we show? And we got to pay attention to what we show, because each moment we're showing to all that is what we are.
If you just shoot for truth, and I think I covered this on the stupid guys panel, but the more you walk in truth and live truth, the more boring and bland you will find your personality, because your personality is not required. It is not true. I mean, it's not necessarily an evil thing. It's part of your individuality and ego. But if you truly walk in truth, there's not going to be any bit to it.
I think I understand what you're saying, and you're probably right. There would be less of a, powerful, overbearing presence, a character. It would be more like you'd kind of flow. But what I have experienced in my own life, when I humbled myself to the truth, and that's what I realized. Most of the time when I was afraid, it was because of things I'd imagined. I'd put myself in some future that didn't exist where I was. And, my regret and my judgment, I spent a lot of time in conflicts in my head too, trying to argue all the time and prove that I was right.
Oh, you do the panel for that.
Well, this is what I've been humbling myself to realize. Truth doesn't need to be fought for.
No, it'll make it in the end for sure. Yeah.
Truth must simply be presented. And Tommy, this is one of the things I've admired about you. You have presented many truthful things to the other panel, and I don't know.
That's how the up is down, down is up in this inverted backwards time. I'm the P anal verse Thanos as the good guy. Like everyone's got me demonized, and they don't realize, oh, he's telling us the truth and we hate him for
it. There's some of that. There is. Hey, I know Christos knows of him. You know of that young guy, Alex of God?
This is the third time you've memory hold that I'm the one that showed that guy to you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. Maybe this time.
But don't thank me. I'm also the reason he will never return your email.
What? Why?
Because I told him your grifter ass would come looking for him, and while me and the Chosen are all solo walkers in this life, we're on the same narrow path.
Tom.
You don't tell the internet you're that, Jack, because you're not, and it puts you on the wrong side of the truth.
Tom, your disagreements do not prove me to be a liar. And what are you doing?
Here comes the ego.
Here, you need to check yourself, my friend, because I brought him up because I was inspired again by his recent message, man.
You can get inspired by him all you want. Don't waste his time hounding him with emails.
Now I learn that you're trying to be an interruption for me communicating with others. What the hell is that? That's like
I don't have to be anything, because even when I told him, I know that I can't tell him what to do or what not to do. That's what I told him. Hey, fellow Chosen. Right. Hey, guy I see on that narrow path.
Hey, Tom.
Jack Talcott's looking for you. Make sure you familiarize yourself with his content before responding.
Jeez.
That's all it took, Jack. You'll never hear from him. And when I tell you why, you'll get mad and kick me, because you got the spirit of your daddy in you.
Hey, let's not try and challenge me today, okay?
I don't challenge anyone.
Well, look at what you're doing right
now. Jack, I'm always aware of what I'm doing, as I'm aware of the third time you can't remember our interactions of the past.
Hey, Tom.
He's reaching for that button, chat. He's reaching for that button.
No, when you stop looking for flaws in me, reasons to be victorious over me.
Stop showing them.
What?
You're seeing conflict. Hey, you're seeing wars where there's no war, Jack. All I got to do is notice who else is on that Holy Grail quest. You cannot be assisted on that quest. You will know those who are on that quest and only recognize each other by being on that quest.
Tom, come into the moment. It's not a cup.
It's true.
Tom, come into the moment. Okay. We are in this moment together right now. Domenico, please. I know you were just trying to observe, but here's an opportunity. I'm presenting peace to Tommy, and
We're not in conflict.
What's that?
We weren't in conflict. We have peace, Jack.
Where's the agreement? I mean, you're like casting all these accusations.
Why do you use disagreement as like the pinnacle issue word? Because we could agree to disagree.
Behavior, Tom, please look at your behavior, and here's the answer to that question. Why I'm pointing out your disagreement, because it's an interruption from our opportunity to have good agreement and conversations.
Okay, even your daddy says he seeks good conversation through disagreement.
I'm here right now. I'm not your.
But this is the message, Jack. We're still talking about the big subject you're on. Are you going to join the ranks if I can't say that name? Are you saying I can't say that name?
I did not say that, but why are you so focused on Paul when we are here?
Once again, you know this from back when you tried to leave him. I have dealt with that dude a lot, just like you.
Tom, you're the one who's bringing him here right now.
He offers examples in our interaction, Jack. The same way I can say when me and Jack did a thing, I can use that as an example.
For what purpose? What are you doing?
Whatever. It depends on what the agreement, disagreement, subject matter is at the time, Jack.
Only you can identify that. Come to now. Let's come to now.
I'm right here, baby. I'm right here.
What are you? No. Holy cows, praise
And don't
God.
let the chat hit you with this deep breath bullshit. You're fine, Jack. You're fine.
I know I'm fine. I have absolute power. When you start to exhaust my patience.
Oh, you got the spirit of your daddy in you with that P word. You dropped the P word.
Hey, Tom, respect.
Show me the power to keep me here, Jack. You got power? Keep me here.
Hey, Tom, why do you keep testing me instead of respecting me?
Am I the one testing you?
It
sounds like the test
Hey, Tom,
is within
how about
you.
this? Unless you can explain yourself, I'm saying you don't know your intentions.
Oh, you just won every shape debate for me. You just beat the flat earthers, Jack.
What?
You just wiped the floor with all my flat earth opposition. You said until you can explain yourself, which I've done for Globies.
I'm talking about right here and now. What are you doing
right
with me,
here,
dude?
right now?
What are you doing with me on this panel? Do you know?
Having a conversation?
Not with me.
Who? Well, it's not Dominic. He's sitting there just observing.
Right.
I'm not talking to myself.
Well, you're talking at me, but we're not talking together. This is what I've been saying. Please.
Together would be harmonizing. All right. You ready? I'm going to cover one ear.
Amazing.
Hit it with me.
But to harmonize, we got to find some agreement and stop creating the disturbance and the dissonance. That's the word.
Well, dissonance could be in the realm of disagreement. And I know what you mean when you say it's all based on just like a 100% agreement across the board, which is why you can't have that. He did not come for peace. He came with a sword. There will be division.
I'm here for peace.
So wouldn't you think we should start at like the most core baseline and agree on the most core baseline and then just start laddering up from there till we find the first disagreement?
Fabulous. Let's start with here and now.
So you and I standing with nothing but loincloths in a field on a globe. We still agree?
Yeah.
All right. We need something for shelter against weather and such. We need food for sustenance. There's Eves and Liliths out there somewhere, we'll assume, for procreation and human connection. We have the air we breathe. We'll find water somewhere. So let's just say existence is met. Okay, now where from there? Oh, if we have all that covered,
let me try and play along. I laughed at the moment, so let me get back into the moment. Okay, so where we go from there is we grow together, openly sharing knowledge. When we discover resources, we find out what the best use is, and as people's
that was our existence stuff. We're assuming we have all that covered. Maybe there's a waterfall, maybe there's shit growing already, and we just maintain that. Let's say human interaction, food, water, shelter, all covered. So from there, all there is the opportunity for disagreements, because the rest doesn't matter. You could sit in that hut. Tom, you could sit in that hut until you die. So everything is an opportunity to disagree, to separate.
Yes. And every moment, every day is an opportunity for us to share in our understandings, growing the knowledge within each of us, individually and together, because we don't have the
knowledge, earthly knowledge, carnal knowledge, just more stuff you don't need.
How about the spiritual knowledge, which I've dedicated my time and energy towards learning? I've actually found quite amazing experience results, right? Not the external results the material world wants to point to yet, but I'm not done either. So, Tom, what I've learned, please, it's really, really simple. If we just come into the moment, right? Recognize who we are and that the rest of the world is, then what are we going to do? We can complain about it. We can gamble on it. I don't know.
How come from here to Z to Unslavia, everyone's trying to tell me I got to do it away? That's how you make conflict. That's how you make disagreement.
Do what away?
Whatever y'all are talking about. You don't move like me. You don't talk like me. You don't stand for rights and freedoms like me. You don't jack like me.
Hey, Tom, you know what? Respect. Let me point out this distinction from me and the others. I'm not telling anybody to be like me. I'm telling you to be more like yourself, but the example of Jesus type.
So you admit that being like me is more like Jesus than being like you. See, I paused you.
No, I disagree. Tom, if you want to compare you and me, I disagree, because I know.
So you're creating disagreement.
No, because I know the truth of me, and I have.
Oh, we do.
I have enough evidence of you in recent.
That's what I would question you on.
In recent time, Tom, I've
seen. But you don't have enough evidence on me to know 3 times now I showed you the elect of God.
I do remember this now. You don't need to gloat over
3 times I've had to remind you. So and you say you have evidence on me? I think that's disagreement.
Well, see, maybe the significance could be that my attempt to communicate with him has failed. And so since there's not been any progress, and now today I learned maybe you're part of that.
It's the second time I've told you that.
I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it.
No, this is the third time I told you I showed you him. The second time I've told you I warned him about you. I've already told you that before, Jack.
Well, maybe when you told me, you know what, Tom? Let's recognize it's possible when you said something to me before that I may have been distracted by something else. So if you told me that, I missed it. That's disappointing, dude. Tom, This is what I'm dealing with, and I do not get it. People who make it very difficult for me to actually have conversations with them. You know,
Blame game.
they don't call me and
You
have
make it difficult.
questions.
Listen, man, I despise your daddy with every essence of my being, and I still admit when he's right, when he's talking about you or anybody else. And when you guys are right about him, I'll say word to that too. Because I kind of walk a narrow path of truth, admit when I'm wrong, and
Tom,
I will be on this platform exposing liars and grifters till that path takes me to a new place.
Hey, Tom, I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong as well, but just because someone thinks I'm wrong does
just
not
because
mean
you think you have signs of me being what you think I am.
Well,
go ahead and finish your sentence.
Let's not worry. Can we drop any accusations against you and I? Can we start over, Tom? Hi, I'm Jack.
No, because when you say all this recent information of me is why you know a thing, I'm the one doing that with my videos, baby, and you have a turn in that line.
Okay.
I'm still here being cool, ain't I?
Well, Tom, I still don't know what you're doing here with me. We've not actually discussed any of the things I talk about. It's mostly been your opinion.
And I hate to say that word, but if anybody loops, you do.
But do I? Or do I stand confidently on the truth, unwavering?
Me and Christos might finish like a sentence to each other on this panel.
I know you guys have both been challenging for me to understand. But hey, I know this to be true. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. Moment by moment, each of us is renewing. And I have trained my mind to surrender and live in the moment. So, Tommy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I don't retain a lot of details of memories. I pay attention to what is happening. I pay attention particularly to what I say, what I'm doing. And I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, this is our lifetime. There is a path. There is a way for humanity to have peace.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is. It's there waiting for us to choose.
I know it's not a posted video yet because it's going in the anime crossover big one, but I played one of my meme edits for London Man that had Fish Girl. And she's talking about we all just saying the same thing. And I was like, really? About that? Have you ever put have you ever put an extreme Christian and an extreme Muslim in the same room? And I had a cool picture from a popular atheist videos of two cartoon guys, one in Texas, one in Afghanistan, pointing weapons at each other. I threw that up while I said that. And she's like, oh, yeah, I done that. I mean, they get mad, but then they realize. I'm like, she's full of shit, you know? You will never have peace on that until it's the Antichrist that brings that peace. That's how you'll know.
Tom.
And then he'll say, I brought you this peace. I performed fire from the sky. Take this mark. Deny your God.
Tom. We can believe whatever we want, but what matters
you said we're in those times. You referenced Revelation. Did your memory hold that?
The time is now, brother. The signs of Revelation have been. We can make the argument. It's already there. I can present.
Let's cook, baby Jack. Wherever you go, there you are.
Why don't you care about what I say?
I care very much about what you say. That's why I'm always challenging it.
No, you're interrupting it, dude. You're not.
Yeah, and why do I interrupt, Jack? Because when I see someone puts down a foundation of wrong, I don't want them building that tower on sand.
Your disagreement, please, for the love of God, I just want to resolve one.
Maybe. For the love of God, I disagree. You get it, Christos?
See, what if God is using us all? And I
No,
am
not all of us, Jack.
representation of you. I'm
That everybody gets a trophy for leftist socialist bullshit. That's not my God.
No.
Not the God. That's the God of this world you're talking about.
Tom, stop labeling and trying to define.
I'm just telling you what you're saying.
No, you're not. You're telling
well, then
me
you're not
you're
hearing
saying.
yourself.
You're not hearing me because you're
I hear every word, even when you think I'm not here. This platform gives us the opportunity to time travel, to be a fly on any wall. I fucking love it. Do you know yesterday I left chats to people from 4 months ago where I was like, you're going to have a hazy memory of this in your now self because back here in this time, we never crossed paths here. I am from the future telling you this in the past. And when I return to that time, it will be a full solid memory because our timelines will realign. You get it, Christos? You love that anime crossover shit. Find me Axis Rat Blood. He was one of us. He was one of them. I want to hear what he has to say about that shit.
Holy cow, dude.
Look, Flow State's one of my hate watchers because everywhere he's challenged me, he's limped away like a bitch. Even on the throat.
Wait, stop. We don't have to start a fight.
No, it's not a fight. I'm winning, baby. Tiger's blood. Glory to God in the highest.
Holy cows.
Yeah, it's hard for the false prophets, the grifters.
I am none of those, dude.
Well, you seem to have a lot of stance on just this panel. You'd think you'd be out with those churches you talk about visiting, like following instead of trying to lead where all these people have made up their mind already.
What are you talking about? I'm right here, but why are you here? I've been asking this a bunch, dude.
Are the numbers rising?
You know, it might be. I don't know. But
I don't know. I don't rest on that.
Tom, I'm less worried about the numbers as I am about offering, hopefully, words of inspiration and encouragement for others to receive. Even if they're not tuned in now, maybe they catch it later. We're here to bring peace to the world. It's humbling. It's humbling when you consider that thought. But I know it's true. We've got to learn to fight in ways of peace, in peaceful ways. The way we fight with peace is to stand strong in the truth with love.
When you say fight with peace, do you remember the scene from Full Metal Jacket when the commander questions Private Joker for having the peace symbol badge on his helmet that said, Chad, anybody?
Oh, I can't remember.
Well, let's let the chat cover it because I see a lot of falsities and untruthitudes in the chat.
Does the chat know that? Remind us, it's on the hat of the guy in Full Metal Jacket. Please.
Born to kill. It says born to kill.
Born to kill. That's right.
With the peace sign.
Yeah. See, that's
it's a stance on the duality of man, sir.
No, that's the illusion and delusion. It's only a partial truth.
I cover illumination and illumination. You can't jump in on my anime crossover.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but I didn't know. I still
don't know. Look at CBO, loser extraordinaire. Movies are real life. No, CBO, you missed it. The same way I'm going to get you, boy, because I got you on this panel saying you're not a Christian, and yet your failed interview with that guy has you acting like you're a Christian. And no, CBO, I don't think your wife, your second wife, your third baby mama, I don't think she's a sock account. I know that the puppet is you, and you're a hypocrite.
Tom. Okay, I hope you feel better now that you got that out. Maybe you've been waiting for a chance.
I'll feel better when you show me you're coming around to the truth, Jack. CBO can burn in hell. I don't give a fuck about him.
Man. Tom, just play along for a couple minutes, okay?
Oh, we're playing.
To talk about.
We're playing to the masses.
About, man. How would you describe an absence of conflict?
Heaven.
Okay.
And until you're there, there will be conflict.
But Tom, in this very moment, here and now,
we're cool.
You and I don't have to experience or generate conflicts.
We're experiencing and generating both truth, information, and entertainment. And I see an androgynous looking cuck looking to get poked without his daddy around. Hello, Nacho Keto.
Whoa, hey.
Holy cow.
Hey.
Nah, he been talking shit once I'm backstage. He talks his shit. Don't coddle him. He knows what's up.
Tommy, come on, man. Let's relax.
Coming on men is your forte.
Let's respect Jack Talcott and his channel, and let's be cool. Right, Jack?
With both Jack Talcott, his channel, and everyone you interact with, I've known him longer than you.
But that doesn't matter, Tom. Tom, yes. Please listen. Nachiketa. Did I say that right?
Perfect. You don't have to say it right. He's pretentious. He's a fuck.
Hey, others may not have to say it right, but I try to recognize people with the name they were given.
Thank you, Jack. Good. Appreciate that.
So, there's your agreements.
Well, Tom, it's not difficult to get along. It really isn't.
I don't run. I do what I want. I don't talk to fat, sloppy cunts.
Hey, well, Tom, let me explain, Tom. I
just run from me?
No, I put Tom in the back because I wanted to show respect, offer respect at least. Welcome, Drew. Welcome, Nachiketa. And Christos, you've been there. Drew?
I don't have a problem with Tommy. I just want to say, Jack, and if he's willing to have a cordial conversation, I'm more than willing.
I trust that. I believe that too. But what we saw there, it's a common pattern. It's the egoic avoidance.
Oh, hey, right? Tommy, shut the fuck up. The only puppet here is you. My hand's up your ass and I make your mouth move, bitch.
Drew.
He's not even here.
You're not even looking at the fucking phone right now.
Yeah, he's just so desperate for any kind of power and control in his life because his life's a failure that he's screaming out online and nobody's buying it. Pretty sad.
Jack was speaking. Please continue, sir.
Well, thank you. Drew is another interesting character who I believe, there's an egoic drive seeking attention, like he said, but we're all in this crazy life together. And I know if we stop insulting ourselves and friggin' each other, stop insulting each other and creating whatever.
Confusion and imagine disagreements.
Amen, brother. Amen. How you doing today? It's good to see you, my friend. I know you are. I know we are. And I actually trust that better is on its way. Although
I'm here.
Well, Nubs, I recognized actually at the beginning, I tuned in briefly, saw evidence that you followed through with your words, and this is the thought I was reminded of. So please.
So you're aware that now Nubs has taken full administrator capacity when it comes to your trust and estate, because he has paid your debts. So he now, well, that's the thing. He is now the representative of the land of Talcottia. That's what the record has shown. And this is commercial.
Well, that's a false narrative. That's a false narrative. And here, this actually goes to what I said offline in a different conversation today. The manipulation of contracts, the manipulation of agreements has created slavery and profitable wars.
Because the manipulation is not there, Jack. The contract was left blank so that it can be amended at any point in.
Because men and women who are honorable they actually don't need written contracts or petitions to say, I'm free. No, man. We are free until proven otherwise.
So,
and I am, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not aware of this particular situation, but from your perspective, Jack, was there any agreement that's been, was there any agreement between you and Nubs? I'm just curious.
I have
from your
simply,
perspective.
From my perspective, I have asked for nothing more than civil and respectful conversations. Now, he came on to the stream one day and he said a bunch of things, and then he was like a little child sitting there pretending to be silent, right? Like it was challenging for him, but he did. He stayed silent and then made the claim that, whatever, that his word, that he was more honorable than me. This is what the game he's been playing. It's this stupid fucking, it's a false narrative that has been, honestly, Paul, enabled and reinforced by you and your panel. So
why is it that you think a narrative can be reinforced to one's own detriment unless it's accepted by oneself? You don't think there's people constantly pushing narratives about me? Do you think ultimately I give a fuck when I know who and what I am and what I'm not? I know the results. Well, you don't know the results, so you're on shaky ground.
Hey, untrue, Paul. Here's something else that really irks me about you, is that you say a lot of things about me and others, that Tarek guy or whatever his name is, saying,
why are you fixating constantly over what you don't like?
Hey, let me tell you why. Because
you're emotional.
Because I have actually received reactions for people because I stood up for you. You know, because I actually stand on what is true. I see the good and the bad in you. In Nubs makes it challenging. Moose makes it challenging. But I see the good and bad.
Right, and I've caught shit way more shit than you've caught for continuing with you. So what game are we playing?
Right, exactly. Well, Paul, look at the difference. What you're using me for is your content, your entertainment part of your show. When I'm suggesting there's a lot more to me than what you've allowed yourself and told your viewers to consider.
So I tell the viewers what to think of you. We don't just come in the room daily, experience, and then form an opinion, man.
Exactly. Well, here, Paul, you talk about me as
you're doing it again today, and then you're going to blame me for what you did today.
Tell you what, Paul, let's start over, okay?
And may I say, not everybody agrees with Paul necessarily, just because he presents some of the information. And I don't know. My perspective about this is that it's a quote unquote a bid non-bid, and in a way, I never knew about you, Jack, until I actually saw it from Paul's channel. So like I didn't know who you were or what you were about, and then initially I had a perspective, but over time, at least from my perspective, like I've grown to kind of enjoy your presence, and some of the things that you do say. And they can how do I say, like they can edit things out just to make you seem in a particular way, but that's kind of entertaining. I'm sorry to say, it is kind of entertaining for me.
But he acts like he doesn't sit right there, laugh and giggle and think that it's funny and get entertainment, then turn around when he's in his feelers and say he was abused. So does anyone really think that you're the next Mao Zedong?
Hey,
or that you're gonna like kill everyone at a compound today?
No,
necessarily.
But Paul, my words are serious about. I believe it's time for humanity to end wars. I'm sick of insults and mockery from clowns like you.
So you want to end wars and legal secrets and think you're not going to get any pushback or mockery. Great idea.
What makes you think that you should be giving me insults and mockery?
Because I don't see how you're going to get it done at all.
Right. Your ignorance, your disbelief justifies your rudeness.
And what have you shown me
That's
to the
fucking
contrary?
illogical. Well,
And what have
hey,
you
Paul,
shown
hey,
me to the
Paul,
contrary?
Listen to your
A meme.
whining,
Great job.
listen
Heraclitus
to your
said that.
whining
You
movement.
didn't.
Come back into the moment.
And he
This
was
is a new
probably
moment.
living his information.
Well, hey, Paul, yeah, he was probably not sitting on a fucking couch for 10 hours a day.
There's the diminishment. There's the minimizing while you
here's the man
maximize your
pointing out the
journey
truth,
and
right?
present.
Here's pointing out what you seem to want to ignore, Paul. You want to ignore all the good from me, and you want to write off all of your bullshit. It's excuses. Hey, Steve, how you doing, bro?
Hold on, buddy. I had a question for you. A while back, we had that, what was it, Tailstock, where we had 140 people donate some money towards this prize pool. Weren't you supposed to get some of that money? Did you ever get any of that money from Paul?
Nothing was offered.
So you think because you didn't get that money?
There we go. Let's do a broken hoe conference like all the hoes.
So that shows what kind of honorable man he is by telling everybody you guys are going to split it up, and you got none of that, right? He kept what, $1,300 of that money because he gave $100 to somebody for the raffle.
That's what I saw, and you know, I played along. I've been playing along with a lot of his foolishness and the mockery of me because I don't control anybody. And you know, I thought I've extended trust to him, and thank you, Steve, for bringing that up, because it's not a bitch session like Paul wants to narrative or anything like that. It's the truth that shows Paul is not as honorable as he presents. There's nothing honorable, in my opinion, about selfishness or about manipulation, gaslighting me, trying to tell me I'm a loser and I don't know what I'm talking about. That's insanity, man. And
so let's go through these points, maybe one by one, but I don't want to step on Nubs over here. I think he has some grievances to.
Hey, respect and thank you, Nachiketa. Nubs, you're in the back. You were in the back because you're not offering me.
I offered your redemption, Jack.
So you claim
I paid your redemption.
Okay, what do you want now? What are you offering now?
What are you offering? Isn't it a good leader that tells the people what they're offering and then does it? Because you offered to pay that debt.
Fuck off, dude. Now so what you're offering is now accusations because you want to carry around some bullshit. Hey, Nubs, you were unblocked, but you are no longer welcome. And guess what? I get to choose who I spend my time with. And Nubs, you offer me nothing but disrespect. So take your disrespectful ass somewhere else. Nachiketa?
Yes, sir.
Please.
No, okay. Well, let's go back to that conversation that we were just having with Steve. Was there, just out of curiosity, and good to see you, Steve. I don't have any issues with you. So just out of curiosity, was there any agreement that was reached between you and Paul about the Talcott?
No. There's nothing planned. Paul doesn't think about the future. He lives in the moment. Actually, he loops in the past every moment of every day, but he doesn't think about the future. He refused publicly brags about how he's refused to have a conversation with me. Every time I interact with him, it's Paul Unslaved, the fucking character and content creator, who I do not believe is God. I refuse to accept Paul is my daddy. He is a punk kid who has been gifted with a lot of wisdom, but his egoic pride makes him in my life pretty useless.
Okay,
Jack,
but yeah.
Can you let
okay,
Paul
sorry,
back
go
up
ahead.
to clarify this? Because I was under the impression, I think a lot of other people, was that he said on his stream that he was going to share that money with you. So I'm curious if I heard that wrong or other people heard that wrong. I'm sure he hasn't left your backstage yet.
I don't remember him ever saying that.
So
Paul,
he
do you
says I'm
remember
not.
ever offering to share the
Absolutely not. This is a
contribution?
character
Right.
assassination and defamation
Is it?
attempt. I didn't
Is
know
it?
I had to tell Talcott to start a channel, promote it, bring him an
You
audience.
didn't. What a fucking clown.
So he's not
He
going to
thinks
answer.
he told me I would not be on YouTube if it was Paul. See what an arrogant clown. He wants to claim that all the subscribers, all the viewers are only because of him. Admittedly, the few viewers and subscribers, it's information. But also what is information is actually what I say, not the opinions of Paul, the opinions of anyone else. It's what I show.
So it's about like what kind of value that
Jack,
people
I just
bring.
want to clarify what you didn't say right. If you could throw Drew and I'm not here for these people. I'm going to clarify this and then I'm breaking out. Drew, you're a hypocrite.
You can take off. If all you're going to do is throw your fucking insults, Tom, please leave. You can go with Nubs.
Hey, can I play devil's advocate on Paul's behalf for a second?
Do you think it's healthy or helpful, or just making excuses for it? Can't hear you, Drew. Here,
Broadcast.
Paul can defend himself.
Right. So the majority of my audience is now coming forth to saying, if I did promise to give you anything, they never would have donated to begin with because you're an irresponsible,
okay. Well, I don't have to accept those false narratives, Paul, and you can take your happy ass elsewhere. I'm going to continue the stream. So, hey, Talcott clip, who cares? Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jack, but I don't remember you starting daily broadcasts until Paul suggested it. Well, your memory is actually not accurate. I had actually already developed the pattern of being online, either on my stream or Paul's stream or someone else's stream 7 days a week anyway. So when it was suggested, I thought, Paul is saying, let's do this, do this. And so I did. I show up, but Paul, no fucking communication. He's a fucking liar and a hypocrite. Claims to be merged, yet refuses to offer even a conversation. So Talcott Clip Collection, I love you and your work, but in my opinion, anyone could help me, right, with what I'm trying to offer, taking those good words and instead of trying to fucking false narrate it, put it in images of murder. That's Paul's future. Paul's talking about this genocide and bullshit. You guys are fucking clowns, man. Holy shit. You have no clue what is going on in this world. No clue what's going on with you. No clue what's going on with the truth.
Central in this universe.
Yeah, you think the universe
Central,
revolves around you. The world must submit to Paul's rights, Paul's freedom, Paul's truth. Fuck.
Yeah, I wanted to stick up for Paul. I accidentally hit the back button. Sorry, but even though he did say he was going to split the money with Jack, I think it just shows that he's exactly what he says he is, and he stands up. He's honorable. He's respectable because he took all the money. He got paid money to do the drugs. That makes him a professional drug dealer. Drug user. He's a professional.
He is. You're right.
He gets paid to do drugs.
He's shown what is true for him. He gets paid to open up a Zoom call, create a hangout spot. And what it is, brothers and sisters, I'm not speaking critically or with judgment, but what I am seeing is people enabling each other's anger. Regina Smith, thank you. Thank you, sister. These
So that wasn't really
contributions.
standing up for Paul at all, right, Drew?
Well, he's standing up for the truth of Paul. Paul shows himself as exactly what he accuses others of being: untrustworthy, unrespectable, unlovable, because he looks down on those things. And brothers and sisters, Paul and I, all of us, we are all examples of men and women of today's world. So there's a better version of you that's within you. There's a path for you that's waiting for you to be to be discovered, to be brought forth through you. The life of the future starts today. And so how do we get out of these looping accusations and arguments and disagreements? How do we do this? Anyone? I mean, I've been seeking.
Question.
Well, Nachiketa, for 5 years, I have been seeking any human being willing to help me, cooperate with me in the efforts of resolving a disagreement. Any disagreement with any person would be great, but people keep bringing me disagreements, disbelief, accusations that I gotta waste my time and energy facing. It's like, what the hell are people doing?
I don't have the answers for these because, like, to be honest, I think we're all kind of trying to figure it out. Even, it doesn't matter how old you are, but like, this is the story of humanity. I mean, that's kind of the reason why we have the kind of history that we've been experiencing and continue to experience. And so, understanding this nature about people in general, about the disagreements that are going to come up, and finding a resolution for that. I mean, that's part of the journey that we have to figure out. But I know for a fact, like, at least with me, that I'm not here to agree with everybody, and not everybody can agree with me. And the few people that resonate with me, then I'm gonna hang out with. But then for the most part, I think people are gonna have to figure out on their own.
Nachiketa, let me challenge you, please, because of what I've heard of your path. Because of what I've heard of your path, I'm a little confused. I mean, as I know and feel and have learned about our spiritual path, it is to create harmony, resonance. We only live in the moment. So when we've got fellow people bringing disagreements to us in the moment, what do? When the disagreement...
Well, you do what you can. You do what you can, and then you talk it out, and then when you get to a point where it's no longer tolerable to you, you just have to go in different ways. I mean, what else to do?
Well, fortunately, you're right. Taking that attitude is where I'm at with Paul. I've told him several times in the recent past, as clearly as I can no longer accept what he is offering to me. And he doesn't want to change. He wants me to become, I don't know what, he offers no resolution. So this is the product of our society, brothers and sisters. Each of us, we can stop enabling conflicts. Because when the truth is there, facts are there, which can be discussed, different perspectives, it doesn't matter. We can find a way using logic and reasoning to understand each other. It requires the willingness to include in the logic perspectives from others, which Paul has proven for many months now with me and others. Paul has proven himself unable to accept the perspective from others because he places himself above everybody foolishly. Joe, how you doing, brother?
G'day, mate.
Hello, Sly. Welcome, sister.
Thank you, brother. Can I ask the question though, Paul, real quick? Hi, Joe. Can I ask you a question real quick, Talcott? I don't want to seem like I'm being a nuisance or anything to you, but what I've learned to do is when people aren't the way I want them to be, I just let them be who they are, and I keep myself centered and in balance, right?
So you say.
Can't stress. I don't stress myself out. No, for real, I do. I let you. I
So
love
you say,
you, even though
no, Sly,
I love.
Sly.
Listen, yes.
I understand your care, but I'm not going to sit here and let you continue gaslighting with a false narrative. I know the things you...
I come to see you every day, Jack,
okay,
too.
but Sly,
I show up to him every day. You don't like me. You put me in the back. You say
Sly,
I just...
Sly, I'm not looking for you to defend yourself, nor am I looking for your approval or disagreements, Sly. I've tried communicating with you on and offline. I've offered invitations for us to talk. Now, Sly, you and Wizard and Moose and Paul and many others in my experience have chosen not to take that advantage, not to accept my invitations and offers to talk, but you want to run around and fucking cast all these accusations about me. It's fascinating.
Well, that's because they're culted up for daddy, Mr. Talcott. They're gonna, but you know, I want to go on record with DD. Paul did say he was gonna split money with you on that whole thing, and me and you had a personal talk, Jack. Let me remind you, I was telling you, why are you letting him make you the joke and the butt? But then, you know, we kind of like, okay, I get it. You know, he made a whole big deal about that whole raffle thing, and he did go on record saying he was gonna hook you ass up. And he has it, and we know why, because he's a grifting fucking gonna keep his shit sitting on account. But when you guys go around, when they go around fucking talking shit about you, Talcott, that's because daddy sends them and the cult fucking follows.
So
you're right.
That was the first I heard about it. I'm interested. Go ahead, bro.
Well, yeah, just real quick. Like, if Paul has said it, you know, it shouldn't be very difficult to find that. You know, I mean, the videos are all up, so it will be very easy for you to just flip that.
Nachiketa, regardless if he said he would share or not, I personally don't remember him offering me anything.
Okay.
He's been using me, my character, my likeness, my videos. He's been using me for his content. He's profiting from me, and he has offered me nothing more than insults, disrespect, judgment. You know, I thought we could have a friendship, but Paul is so bitter and twisted, he doesn't know what that means.
So what do you think would be fair to offer from Paul's side in your perspective?
Nachiketa, why are you like doing this? You're being like all culted for Paul, asking these loaded questions. You know what the answer is. Come correct and fucking make it right.
Well,
like what the fuck?
Look, I don't know anything about it. I would have asked the same questions Nachi is asking, and I don't know nothing about what you guys are talking about.
And please, I don't fault the question. Let's not jump to assumptions, Snafu, okay? Because really, no words would even have to be said, but I do believe an apology for the past disrespect is appropriate. Margo gave an example, and I've compared Paul and Margo quite publicly and often, that both of them have presented similar characters to me online, publicly. Margo gave an example of apologizing to me for her past bitterness, and it was very generic, but words don't even have to be said if someone corrects what they've done wrong.
Getting better, yeah.
Again, if I may speak, Paul has never apologized to any of us when we call him out on his bullshit. And again, it's different because we're all on the same page over the years. It's not like one of us is just making something up. It's like, you know, and we're telling them there's a respect level, bro. Okay, well, you're not the god of me. We're all have a truthio. We all have a truthio, as I say. Jack has a truthio. Joe has a truthio. But here's the thing with Paul. I've never seen him apologize to anyone who he has crossed that line with of respect. You know, I mean, the first time he met DD, he's telling him how his wife is fucking, like, how they're going to divorce. Like, the guy literally makes this shit up like he knows their families, knows their lives, knows their jobs, knows what like. Enough is enough to where, yeah, he should apologize just for being a fucking piece of shit liar sometimes.
Called my wife a cunt the other day. Like, what a piece of shit you are. You call someone else's wife's a cunt? Like, come on. What the fuck, man?
It's just, I don't know. I get why, like, the whole thing, though, but when you guys keep going back, like, I'm proud that you guys are standing up. I told Z the same thing. I said, it's funny how when Z finally mentioned it, everyone starts paying attention because we have been saying this for a long time. You know, Jack has been saying it. I've been saying it. Flo's been saying it. Everyone. And the thing is I think Paul doesn't understand that there is a respect level, and we are. Look, he's not better than us. We are equal. And you can shake your head, O'Shea, take your piss, and be colted.
Hold on. Thank you, Snafu. We allowed you. O'Shea, you had a disagreement. What's your disagreement?
Right on, Jack.
Sorry, I'm fucking doing a lot over here, Jack. Dude, I mean, come on, guys. Jack, okay. I'm trying not to get kicked out here. You fucking... You got that trigger. You got your finger on the trigger over there. Jack.
Well, let's not try and do that. Let's try to understand instead of trying to convince me to accept excuses. How about try to understand what I'm saying, that Paul has not, he refused to accept his flaws. And there's a whole bunch of you, Bryan, that just want to fucking just completely ignore his arrogance and his negativity and ignore the disrespect that he actually offers to a lot of good people.
That's actually well said, Jack.
Jack,
thank you.
But here's the thing, Jack. How do you explain to me that, like, in a few hours, it could be 2 hours from now, you'll be buddy with him on his show? Like,
hey, Bryan. Hey, whoa. I know you want to imagine looping, but again, what you just did is you made no acknowledgement of the words I said.
Dope.
Take us back into your imagined accusation that 2 hours from now, you and Paul are going to be buddy. Well, you're wrong, dude.
No,
my life is changing.
Give me 1 second, Jack. Jack, come on. You know it. Just admit that, though, that, like, whether it's tomorrow or day, you guys, because this is a pattern, right? We keep, you guys go at it.
I agree, Bryan. Yes.
Right. It's been a pattern. It's been a very unhealthy, unproductive, unwelcome relationship with me. There's been periods where I've tried to make the best of it, and Paul does have a great sense of humor. I'm not going to deny the good from him, but you know what? Hey, O'Shea, you need to really fucking step back and consider maybe my experience in this discussion. Okay? I have done nothing to harm Paul, my son, people at the
wait. Ask
anyone in the community.
Bryan, has Jack offended Paul? Does Jack go after Paul? Does he hurt Paul?
All the time that Paul's put into this situation, put into Jack, that, like, you know what I mean? It's like,
no. It's like a dodge. I don't know what you mean. Does Jack attack Paul as well? Does he offend Paul all the goddamn time?
I don't think Paul gets offended. I think Paul's putting time into.
I was asking about Jack. Why you responding with telling me what Paul's doing? Does Jack attack Paul?
Isn't he doing that right now? Isn't that what all these hoes are doing up here on this panel?
I was asking if that's your answer. That's your answer.
If all of us hoes are voicing our own truths and our opinions and Paul doesn't like it, Why? How does that make us hoes?
Bryan, am I
We're
attacking
hoes
Paul?
We're literally
because
doing
they're
the same
fucking
bullshit to
culted up.
Paul that Paul
talking
does to
about-
everybody else, but it's wrong for us to do it. We're whiny little bitches.
I like
And
it,
Paul's
Steve.
the alpha, right? I mean, give me a
like
fucking break.
Bryan,
I mean, he's been
Bryan,
belittling
am
Jack
I
for so
attacking Paul?
long. So long he's been belittling Jack. Jack is so strong. He's literally still trying to get some kind of point of view into Paul. It's just not gonna happen.
Resolution. Yes, he is.
He's still trying. And I
Dude,
think
Jack and I've had personal conversations about this. I keep saying, like, why do you allow them to be the butt of the joke? You know, but the thing is honestly, if Paul wants to, he's been making money off your whole fucking character this whole time, Jack. Like, you have been a fucking money, like, you create money for him.
Please. Golly, geez, people. I mean, it's obvious. There's a donation. I'm trying to recognize the support that's actually being offered. And you know what? Let me not ignore the support that's being offered up here. Okay. Steve, thank you and well said.
And Regina, thank you. I saw you gave $10 to Jack.
And guys, there's something greater than us. Okay. That's going on. There's a purpose beyond just our content, right? Especially this unhealthy content that's between us. Bryan, I'm at a point where I've said this several times. I don't know what I can do to get people to accept the words I'm saying. I'm changing my path. Okay. My purpose is when I come on YouTube, while I'd like to, I want more influence, but I don't care about having a subscriber count. I just want to reach people with the right message. And the right message, brothers and sisters, is peace is here for us. When we get past our conflicts and our disagreements, when we settle into where we are.
Hey, Jack. I'm gonna digress. Do you feel any do you feel completely at peace, or do you feel tension or stress anywhere, like in your body, in general, like in your life in general? Or are you completely peaceful, stress-free? You don't feel tension, or do you feel like there's a resistance? Because we brought up the word surrender the other day with Paul, and I felt it as a feeling of resistance, right? And when you surrender, you just kind of let go to the whole thing.
Right. Where you going, Bryan? Where you going with this?
I feel like Jack is
he's going into the culted fucking defense that they all do for Paul.
Well,
that's where he's going, Joe Cool. The culted ones have the same narrative for Paul. Fact that Paul doesn't respect anyone.
Please. Can you let him just finish his thought?
Yes, we can deal with whatever happens. We don't need to present a narrative. Please, Bryan, finish what you were saying.
No, I'm just asking the question. Do you feel tension, or would you say that, no, I'm just completely peaceful? I feel no tension when it comes to surrender. I don't think I need to surrender anything in my life. I just,
Bryan,
there's no grasp, like a clutching, like a grabbing onto something. That's the tension I mean. It's like when you release that and surrender, you know what I mean?
Hey, Bryan, I think I understand what you're asking. And within myself, when I open my mind up, dude, when I think about all the things I've thought that I've been through, there's a lot of angst. There's a lot of pissed off. There's a lot of anger. But, and in the future, dude, I'm still somehow without income. I'm still somehow where I am. But
I think if I can cut you off, because I'm trying to see where Bryan's going, I think his answer is he feels peace and anxiety. So now what?
But I think it's the grasping. Jack, would you admit that there's like a grasp, like you're holding on to something, like those things you mentioned from the past? Like you have an anger or a resentment still, maybe, or you tell me. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like,
hey, Bryan, where I'm at, I've completely resolved all the judgment and all the resentment. People have done what they've done. I don't care. I'm focused on the future. And where I sit right now, Bryan, is I am in such peace, regardless of the state of the world, regardless of my economic, my social, my reputation, regardless of my day-to-day existence, I feel there is literally a tingling pleasure throughout my body. Okay? I'm serious. The kingdom of heaven is now.
But Jack. Truly,
Yeah, organize your thoughts, Brian. Organize.
Jack,
what are you trying to get at here, Brian?
Have a real moment with me, dude, and admit it, bro. Admit that some things you still hold on to. You haven't completely letting everything go. There's still some clutching of something, dude. A resentment here.
Why, Brian?
What sort of gay shit are you trying to clutch at, okay? Like, I don't understand why you keep.
I thought the first thing out of his mouth was that yes, I still
because it's obvious to me that Jack is holding on to things. It's obvious to me.
Hey,
to anyone with
wait. Why? Because he's calling out the shit that everyone's been calling out, and you guys don't like it. Like it's not that we don't like Paul. It's the fact that he has no respect and he can't even be humble enough to say, "Yeah, guys, maybe you know." Like the fact is he thinks he's better than everyone. That's the truth. He's not better than you, O'Shea. You may think like he's not.
Amen.
Somebody explain that to me. I saw someone make fun of this quote today. I didn't know it was a real quote. No man ever steps in a river twice. You're like, that makes no damn sense. Apparently, it's a real quote. So, how is the river not ever the same because you stepped in it?
Because it's flowing. Because it's flowing.
There's different things going on at every moment.
That's enough. I got him. And you change.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Both the man
and
the river change moment by moment. So, Brian, you had a question. You've got some doubts at my level of surrender. Okay. Now, I don't know why you're searching for me to be wrong.
But, he is. He definitely is, bro.
I'm searching. Shut the Joe. I do not
Brian,
like you, Joe.
It's
Brian,
okay.
you're bringing me.
I do not like you, dude.
It's okay.
Brian,
my ex
you're the worst of this, dude. You're the worst than Jack. Dude. Go ahead, Jack.
Brian,
Jack's a good guy. I'm okay.
Come into the moment, Brian. Okay, because what I want you to consider is your hate is your problem. Your hate is from your judgment.
I don't hate you, Brian.
I don't hate for you, Jack.
I don't think
I said I hate Joe Cool. I said I didn't like him.
Well, okay. So even again, but see, Brian, now this is creating disagreements instead of just accepting what you know. And what you know is that your dislike in this moment is your choice, your problem. All are welcome here as they are.
I think he's right. I'm entitled to my opinion. I do think that you're trying to get, because that's why I'm steady asking you where you're going. I think that
isn't it obvious that Jack is holding on to things? Isn't it obvious?
Yes, he could have been obvious. Yes, when you
everyone though, Brian, for the most, like in reality, like we all have our baggage, right? We all have our fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And so let me offer, Brian, the reason I brought up that every man, we're all changing. You're right. In the past, I was kind of hung up. I had the belief that, maybe I could be a guy who could communicate with Paul. I thought maybe, if I was persistent, that eventually he'd find reasons to respect me. He'd find reasons to trust me, but he doesn't want to find reasons to trust. He doesn't want to find reasons to respect. He wants to find reasons to belittle so that he can continue his fucking delusion of being flawless.
So Brahma sells in its content, man. It's not real truth or shit. It's not real. Like, I get the spiritual guru. There is things that are beneficial. I'm not saying that. But when someone acts like they're better than you, that's a problem. O'Shea, he's not better than you. Jack, he's not better than Jack. He's not better than Steve. We're all like, no, like, real. Like, that's it. Like, I don't run around telling you guys I'm King Ding Ling, fuck you. Listen, like, but he does. And it's funny because the ones who feed into this guru like he's the man. No, the man is gonna say we all work together. We're like really like it's him.
Yeah, I agree, Snafu.
Well, and
right? That's
Let me
what
ask a
men
question.
do. They humble themselves and all of that shit. I agree.
We're all loser failures, right?
Yes, yes.
Laughable.
So,
Nachiketa, please.
Well, no, we
yeah.
all are loser failures.
Oh
It's not
man.
they, we,
I
us.
thought he
all
said
of us.
we.
Okay,
I thought he
stop.
said we too. We all are.
Okay, my question is this: like Jack, do you feel that Paul's intentions are like misplaced, or his intentions are good, but his behavior is not really lined up with his intentions? That's my question to you, sir.
Interesting.
Yes. In my experience, he presents contradictions between the words he says and his actions. And
That was a good question.
an obvious example is he knows the words of the Tao. He knows that we are reflections of one another. There is but one experience of us.
Yeah.
But if you listen to his words, he lives and presents himself as though he lives in a world of people who are below him, a bunch of infidels and people who can't be trusted and people without a purpose.
Okay, so
And also, just I want to add real quick. Also, when you put him in a corner to actually like have conversation, you know, like, hey, maybe this is up. He'll backstage you, man. He doesn't want to hear it. He won't listen. He won't even talk. So, and then he'll go on this rant like, I'm the God. So Nachiketa, for you to like, there is no in conversation with him, even when it comes to his faults he doesn't think could be faults that everyone obviously is like, hey, bro, there's stuff that you might want to work on. Yeah, he'll backstage you and tell you how you're fucking wrong, and he fucking, which is fine. It's his shit. But that just shows when he got pressure on him, he can't man up and even value himself. Look at
Bryan,
himself.
do you agree that
Let me hear
occurs,
Nachiketa.
Bryan?
We were
Let me
on
hear
a thread-
Nachiketa answer his own question.
We were on a thread of Jack getting somewhere with admitting that he's fucking.
Shut the fuck up,
hasn't
O'Shea.
surrendered.
Nobody
You're a
cares about
loser.
you.
You're a fucking just you're the bottom nut low.
Oh
dude.
man.
Oh, that was dope, Flo.
O'Shea.
That was dope. Nachi, do you think Paul's intentions are
God, you
different than his
fucking
words or whatever the
broken hose,
question
dude.
was?
Please.
Well, here's the thing. Like in my experience, I feel like Paul's been very consistent in my experience. But again, I haven't had the same experiences as maybe most of you guys here. I don't know.
Well, we
I
did-
can't
How many
speak for you guys.
seasons did Jerry Springer run?
Consistency wasn't
That's
the
a consistent
question.
show.
One person
So
at a
is
time,
Mari.
please.
Mari's a consistent show. So is
Snafu,
Ricky
let me
Bobby.
go. Let me go.
One person at a time, please.
Consistency wasn't the question. Does he have good intentions?
I think so. In my opinion, I do think he does have good intentions. Now,
Bring him back up,
me?
Jack. Are you going to bring
What's
him
that?
back up or what? Is he back
Now-
there?
Well, here's
does that
my
mean that
dilemma.
I agree? That doesn't mean I agree with everything that he does, but I haven't had issues with him.
Well,
Right, because you've been really good with him. Notch, you're a
Well-
smart guy. Why do you like?
Right.
I mean, that's
You
why
didn't
it's
say
surprising
that.
that you
You said I
defended him
was stupid
so
the other
much,
day.
like culted, like
Do you remember?
because you can't
Do you
see the
remember
way
when
he
you
treats
were-
people and knows how their families are, their jobs
Hey,
are, their life
can
is.
we-
Like this guy
would you
knows every
please-
one of us to the T. Come on.
Snafu, because of your patterns, I am asking you to establish self-control because I do not want to sit here entertaining these looping arguments anymore. Okay? And I'd like for everyone to be here, but the question was asked about Paul. Paul is still in the backstage. God bless him. He's a patient man. But I've tried repeatedly to have conversations with Paul, but he is so fucking selfish. Paul is so selfish. He wouldn't even offer cooperation with me when I asked.
He
Just
stole
for a
your
short
money.
period.
He's made you a character. He's made a lot of money off your character, the Jack Talcott character,
He
dude.
stole your money. Quite the opposite of having a conversation.
Hey, congratulations to him. I encourage people to continue to offer him support, but ask yourself, are you enabling change in the world, or are you enabling? I think you're enabling a grown child who gets off on bullying, intellectually and emotionally bullying other people he finds on YouTube. It's like
Jack, bring him back up.
juvenile.
You know what makes me mad is he makes people think that they're littler than what they are, because he's no better than any of these people on this panel. And I may talk a lot of shit to every one of you, but the truth is we all have a truth, yo, and important things to share in this world. And the way he presents himself, Notch, like that's, I mean, come on, dude.
I like
Well,
it. I like it, Snafu.
Shut
Here's the
up,
problem,
fool, you fucking idiot.
Snafu.
Bring Paul back up, Jack.
So, well,
the problem
this
is,
if I can say something, I will. Go ahead, Nachiketa.
go
What
ahead.
was the problem?
I yield. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Cool. God damn, are you?
Yeah.
I'm going to bring Paul
You
back
are a
up,
dumb fuck,
but
dude.
please do not enable or instigate attacks against him. And Paul, the simple thing I'm asking for is that we have conversations instead of attacks and arguments.
So a conversation after we just moved the goalpost 3 times from I promised you money and didn't give it when that never happened to now I stole money from you, more defamation and character assassination.
Yeah, listen to your own defamation, you son of a bitch.
What have I ever said about you that could be perceived as a lie that is not founded in some truth with evidence?
Oh my
and
God.
proof
Hey,
when
Paul,
he just made a completely libelous false.
Okay, so Paul, let's go back to the moment now, Paul. Once again, you're not going to come on here and play your little bullshit, God of all media on this platform. I'm not going to play along with your little gossiping and complaining for content. So, Paul, I see you're talking. You're really not listening to me anyway. Steve, what's up?
So I'm just curious, Jack, if he's now stated that he did not say he was going to split the money with you, then why in the fuck would everyone 140 people donate $10? Why are we? What was the reason to be donating this money? I don't. Can you ask him that, or will he even answer a question, or is he just constantly deflect?
No, he's already said that his supporters said they would not have contributed if anything was coming to me.
It doesn't matter.
Didn't disclose that to me. I know he didn't say,
That
Jack, we're
wasn't
going
what
to
I
do
heard.
this. Hold on, Snafu. I know Paul didn't say, Jack, we're going to do this together because we're merging and, I'm going to share this. Or he also didn't say, hey, because of this, I'm not going to offer you anything. He never had any discussions like an adult.
Because he's lying.
Right? He's a grifter. He's a con man. He's a gaslighter and a manipulator.
Bring him back up, Jack, and keep him up.
Privately owned, government operated.
I thought I told you to shut the fuck up with that.
He doesn't talk over. You don't
I
have to keep
asked
putting him in the
earlier-
back, dude. He doesn't
I asked earlier, does Jack go after Paul? My answer is yes, because this is definitely you are making some claims about him.
Okay, but let's rather than judge me for what you think is the intent, are my words truthful? Do you believe my words are supported by facts?
Oh, all right. Please say them again. I'm so sorry. I had too much.
I think you've always kept it as real as you could be for yourself.
Well, 1 second, sir.
I think Jack's always been good-hearted and kept it real for himself, like what he believes, what his mission is.
Oh, grifter.
Like he's
That's
been
what
pretty
you said.
to point, like what he feels.
You said he's a grifter and something else. I'm not ready to agree with nothing like that.
How can you not say he's not a grifter, bro? He actually jokes around, like this whole thing with the money that him and Talcott made on that whole thing. He would laugh and say, "Oh, I'm grifting here. Thanks for the plywood. I'm grifting here." Like he makes a joke out because he knows he is. I mean, motherfucker, ain't fucking, dude, I'm going against pedophiles, criminals, traitors, and frauds with this YouTube shit. This motherfucker sits on a couch and does shit. I got people threatening our lives, journalists' lives. Okay, Jack Talcott, all you guys are doing.
Snafu, thank you.
Man,
please yield. Okay. Now, Joe.
Yeah, apparently there was a fundraiser or something, and
Here,
was he raising funds
Tell
for?
you what, Joe. Let's just take names out of the equation. Do you think someone who is selfish is honest or not?
If they are being selfish, can they be honest? I don't think you can be selfish and honest.
I don't either. I believe that honest people are generous, not only with the wisdom they know, but with the care that is available to be offered. And what I see in Paul is an example of a very selfish man. He claims this victim. He's playing the role of the Messiah. He's so persecuted and so attacked by the systems and by everybody around. Everyone's just trying to be like him, but no, we're not, Paul. I'm not trying to be like you. I'm saying you should be better.
Do you feel you are attacked by Paul, Jack?
Yes.
That would be a true statement.
I believe
Nachi, if you had been
Darby,
around long
you-
enough, that's
you-
pretty much true.
Nachiketa?
I'm talking to Jack. Please.
Like honestly, Nacho, you don't see that you're worthless. Like you're beneath him, no matter who you are.
Hold on.
You could have
Snafu, please.
Vince
Hold on.
McMahon. You could have some.
Beneath? I'm not beneath anybody. I'm
Well,
sorry.
ask Paul that.
Well, he can think whatever he wants. If Paul thinks I'm beneath him, he's welcome to think that way. That doesn't mean I must feel that way.
Nachiketa. Okay. You're bringing up a lot of excuses here.
I'm just asking
do
questions.
we care about, well, you asked me if Paul has attacked me from my perspective of my experience. I said yes very quickly.
Okay.
What would be your observation as someone who's not involved in the Paul and Jack? What is Paul? What do you think?
Between you and Paul?
Has there been a support? Has there been a support of my character or an attack of my character? What would you say from Paul?
I feel like there's been a little bit of both, but like okay, look, so in my perspective, like, there are some things that he has his opinions, obviously, and let's talk about some of the major ones. Like you want to end all wars, as an example, and you want to have no secrets.
That wasn't the question.
Right.
So what's the question?
That was a bit of a dodge. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. So like you're saying, so you want a yes or no answer that Paul attacked you?
Nachiketa, this is my panel, my platform, my real life experience that you've been a part of. You've been a real supporter of the guy that has made my life pretty challenging, as far as trying to grow in what I want. Yeah, my absurd and stupid goals to try and end wars. What a fucking moron, huh, Nachiketa? What an idiot wants to end wars.
Let me get behind Nachi a little bit here. Let me get behind Nachi a little bit. What he was willing to say, I agree with. Paul makes great observations about Jack, and he gets beat up for and all of that shit. But I'm not sure how you have not seen Paul continuously talk about how dumb and stupid and worthless this guy is as well.
He has.
I have seen, yes.
Okay, so Nachiketa, where is the care for what is true? What is true?
Well, that's difficult for me to say, but like...
Okay, well, Nachiketa, here's the point, and I love you, my brother. God is testing us all every day, and here's a lesson. This game of life, it is up to us to find out what is true. Now,
agreed.
There has been, I've been watching and pointing out from the the Proper Instruction Motivates platform, right? People, there has been conflict and disagreement, egoic nonsense called entertainment. There are wars, genocide, real life oppression going on that we could, should we really want to, we could become part of the solution towards.
I think you made another point in there too, Jack. Nachi, do you agree that he makes fun and belittles and makes fun this dude look stupid as a form of entertainment? I'd agree with that assertion.
Yeah, I think he does that for just about anybody. Like I don't think Jack
Yes,
is,
I'd agree with
know,
that
Oh,
too.
you
I'd
think?
agree
you know,
with
Wait,
that
like
whoa,
one.
whoa,
So
whoa,
thank
whoa,
you,
whoa,
Nachi.
whoa!
He does a
Now
lot of
you're
people, and thank you, Nachi. Yes.
He
wait.
pokes you.
You're
You know, he
but
wants you to react so he can yell
you
at you and
haven't
demean you
seen
and spit his lyrical,
right. Okay.
genius
so
words
why
out of his
react?
mouth. So when people don't react to him, he gets pissy. He's like, "Oh well, I can't fuck with this dude. I guess I'll go somewhere else." He fucks with the easy ones. It's like fucking the fat chick. It's easy, right? He's not going to go after
Is
the
that
good chick.
healthy? Hey,
It's just how
guys,
he
is
is.
that healthy for today's society? Someone who
No,
runs
not at all.
around just fucking with people because he thinks he's better than them?
Of course he does. You see it every day.
Well,
Nobody's
Right,
Paul.
right. Nachiketa, I don't see that as fucking healthy, to be honest. I don't think I don't see that as a healthy purpose for today's society for someone as gifted as Paul to come online for 8-10 hours a day just to bitch and complain, to restream other people like me who actually, you guys are fools for wanting to mock the idea of peace. Okay? I'm telling you,
Yeah.
the inner peace that is available by humbling yourself to the truth.
Yeah.
By seeking the loving answers. The peace that's found within can inspire you to believe you can change the whole world.
The peacemakers
So-
shall be called the sons and daughters of the Most High. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons and daughters of the Most High.
Amen.
yeah. So I just think about like approaches and strategies. So for example,
Okay.
like here I'm over with you. This is your channel. So I give you due respect, and I'll yield and I will shut up when I am asked to. No problem. So
Yeah.
I'm just having a
Are
conversation
you
with
willing?
you.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but a question for everyone. We all have the choice just to be entertained by life, to be
Yeah.
the observer of what's happening, or we can
Yeah.
be participants in the experience of others. So personally, I would encourage anyone who Paul might listen to, encourage him to stop being such a disrespectful asshole.
You
towards
can't.
you.
You can't. He makes the price too high, Jack. If you
Yeah,
criticize
can't.
him, he
You
attacks you.
can't.
Most people can't take that heat, can't
I
take that
know.
smoke.
You can't tell him to reconsider his behavior.
He
I tell
certainly
him all
won't
the
listen. He
time.
won't
I
listen
can
to
take
anybody.
it.
He
I
won't
can
listen.
take it. I say it all the time, but he just abuses me as well.
You're right. You're right. So
But
what do we
but
do
you can't
with
change.
someone?
You can't do anything. Like
Okay.
okay. So look,
All
Jack.
right.
What? Okay. May I say
Hold
something
on.
though?
Well, here, if you're going to run
Okay.
with this narrative, you're right. I can't change anyone. So what I can do
Well,
is I can
not
change.
anyone.
I can change who I allow around. And Paul has
Agreed.
not been offering me any reasons to keep him around.
Okay.
And you
that's
guys
fine.
want to sit here and fucking argue with me that I should just be as stupid and blind to his behavior as you? Nachiketa, you are a wiser man than you are showing yourself to me today.
Yep.
Well, obviously not, because I don't see it the way. Obviously, I don't see it the way that you guys do, and that's fine because you guys all have had different experiences with him than I
Okay.
did, and
That's
I'm
what
not
I
trying to
chalk
take
it
it
up
away
to,
from you.
Nachi. I think you're a
But-
sincere motherfucker, and I chalk it up to your experience. I don't call you stupid or blind.
Well, I
That's
do
fine.
because
You
here,
can. You can.
let's share this experience
I must be.
together. Hey,
If Jack is
here.
telling me I'm stupid and blind, then I
Well,
must be.
Nachi, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Let's share this experience
Going
together
into
and see how
insanity.
wonderful this can be.
Sanity, here I come.
Welcome, Paul.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know I was still on. I was actually singing the Wacko Jacko and the Jacko 5, right? Because you were known as Wacko Jacko in Spokane at every job you've ever worked on, and these 5
That's not
miscreants who
true.
keep
Where the
surrounding you
fuck
and
did
enabling
you
you
get that
must be
narrative?
the Jacko
See,
5.
look at this.
I
Look
was
at
singing
this.
a little Wacko
No
Jacko and the
respect
Jackson
for
5,
truth,
going to
no
insanity.
respect for me. What is your problem, dude? Seriously.
What
Paul.
is your problem? You're running out of money and you're going to lose your
Hey,
house soon,
Paul,
and you're on here
Paul,
bitching and complaining.
Nachi,
again.
you're
What's
watching
your
right,
problem?
Nachi. You're watching right.
Come
You
to the
can't
moment.
What's
know.
your
Come to the present.
problem? How do you?
You're out of your
Once you give him his
mind.
money, Paul.
You are
Give him his
fucking
money,
out
Paul.
of your mind. What's
You
that,
saw
Steve?
that? Nuts.
He needs to give you his money that he promised to split you with.
Fuck yeah, he does.
We'll clip it.
Fuck
We'll
yeah,
clip
he
it
does.
saying thing. I didn't say that.
Both
Hey,
him
and then
and
he's gonna
Jack
say
say
we
he
edited the
didn't
video.
say that. Both him and Jack say that he did not say that.
And
He
you know
did
what?
say it.
I don't care about this fiat
Prove
currency
me
that
wrong.
Paul cares so much about. He can, he can take it. I don't give a shit, right? It's chump change compared to where I am focused on achieving.
It's more the principle than the dollar amount.
Well, what I would much greater value from Paul is his acceptance and admission of the truth. Because when he accepts the truth that he has been disrespecting and insulting the wrong man, that he's actually been revealing his disrespectful character, when Paul recognizes and accepts and admits the truth that he has made errors in his judgment.
How old is Paul? Ain't he like 30 something?
Yep.
I'm okay with him not learning that till he's 50 something. I wouldn't condemn him or something. He's a young man. I expect him to do and say
there's
dumb
no
shit.
permanent
I'm
and
talking
deny it.
about my direct experience with this man. He is in absolute denial about his behavior.
My
And to
point
me,
is a lot of
it is not
30-year-olds are.
acceptable.
A lot of 30-year-olds are.
Bullshit. Are you making Joe Cool? God damn, man.
He's about
Look
to fuck
at
you up,
what
Joe.
You are doing. Hold on, Joe Cool. You're a better man than this. You making excuses for 33-year-old punks?
I do. I think I'm an idiot. I'm 50 something. I know nothing. Yes, I make excuses for 30-year-olds. I think we're all pretty dumb.
All right.
How old are you?
You're here.
56.
Didn't you tell me you was like 72?
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
You goddamn liar.
Oh my God! Someone on the internet wasn't telling the truth. Oh shit!
Well, hey, Joe, here's the lesson that I keep encouraging others to consider. Stop with the excuses.
I agree.
Stop with
Okay.
the blame. Okay.
So what do we do from here? Like you have issues with him and you don't feel like he's going to change anytime soon. He's probably not going to change anytime soon. So what do you want to go from here? You don't want him at your panel. You don't want to go on and talk to him. Basically, let's just imagine because I've seen some videos about narcissists or whatever. And if he is, let's just say
he's unchangeable.
Let's say you label him as such, then the best thing for anybody to do is to just completely stonewall him, and not have any contact with him. That's what they suggest.
That is what they suggest.
That's what others suggest that are not involved in this experience, that do not have the education or goals that I have. There's lots of people that would say, walk away. And I've been told by many people, Snafu brought it up several times.
Jack, excuse me, and make sure that you address. He said people like narcissists. I don't. He may be right. You might not can help a narcissist. They will hurt you as long as you fuck with them. He is saying if he is, maybe you'll have to walk away. Do you think Paul's a narcissist?
Fuck yeah.
Paul shows
go read a website. Yes, in every bullet point.
He shows many traits of a very skilled manipulator with a very selfish pattern. So yes, that is demonstrative.
All right, if I see a narcissist, I walk away too, bro. I don't waste my time.
Well, here's the difference, guys. Here is the difference where Jack comes in, and please, I'm willing to explain myself, but you got to trust that I might be right. Okay? I've been studying human mind. I understand the behavior, the pattern of the narcissist, all these labels and diagnoses our mental health people have come up with. They're just identifications of patterns. All of us have different patterns within us, different levels of narcissism.
Yes.
The tendencies are there.
Yes.
What is also there, though, is the pure loving nature Paul has a great heart. I've seen his love and care for others who are challenged and suffering.
Then he can't be a narcissist.
Well, there's the conflict, but see, he has conflicts within himself, right? Because it is conflicting. How do you be, respected and powerful if you're caring and wanting to serve?
Because
Yeah,
narcissism
I
is
personally wouldn't let him go. I
it's
wouldn't
a
let him
defense
go.
mechanism. Narcissism is a trauma response. So
It
I mostly agree with Jack actually, but the difference I do think that narcissists can be reformed. I think that about all cluster B. I don't think it's a permanent, unchangeable thing.
I hope
But,
you're right, bro. I
Well,
swear I do.
but I
mean,
don't think
it's
that it's
rare.
something that you
It's
can just
rare.
encourage them to do. Like people have to hit rock bottom to be willing to resolve that sort of shit.
Right on. Don't encourage no
Many
narcissistic bullshit.
psychologists have claimed that a vast majority of narcissists cannot be reformed.
I know.
Right.
And then
I am
for
starting
anybody
to believe that.
For
Yeah.
anybody to expect that to happen, they're actually lying to themselves. So they
Okay, but
advise
not
people
Yeah.
not to think that way.
That is what they said.
Please. This is my focus of study. I know that it can be overcome because the reason doctors have said there's no cure is we have a society that supports narcissism. It enables it.
This is getting good because you're saying that you believe that we're talking about the 10th level narcissist. I agree. All of us have narcissistic characteristics. Every sociologist will tell you, psychologist will tell you that. But the level 10 shit doesn't look like they've been changed. I've had a couple few myself, couple loops myself. But you believe even those people can save. That can be saved. That was my position I said a year ago. I no longer believe that.
I've had a lot of people telling me they can't be changed. And you know what? I don't know if someone can change until they try. I believe here's the reality with me and Paul, I know for a fact who I am. I know the path I've lived. I know what is in my heart and I know my practice of prayer, meditation, and exercise. I know who I am. I trust if Paul would have actually allowed us a conversation, if we were in real life, he wouldn't disrespect me the way he has publicly.
I hope to think he would not.
I don't think he would.
Yeah.
I think he would reason, and I believe if he didn't have the distraction and the excuse of the broadcast and all this other crap,
yes,
I actually think we could understand each other. And personally, I know for a fact that when I humbled myself to truth, I had to process a shit ton of emotions. They came flowing out of me. And that's why I've actually tried having offline conversations to avoid that additional pressure of an emotional release.
I like what Jax is going. I don't know if he's still applying it to narcissism, but I am in my head. Maybe some emotional shit through pressure could change a narcissist. That's damn near all I heard.
I think a rock bottom is a good indicator of someone when they can change. And every one of us identifies our own rock bottom. My life, I have been so blessed and so stupid in the past, but I was a very functioning alcoholic, very diseased, but very functioning. And I forgot where I was going. Where I'm at now, though, is a place of surrender, and I'm filled with the truth of me. I'm not arrogant. Seriously. I have, well,
excuse me,
sometimes I am.
Well, it's a perspective thing. It's arrogance can be perceived from other people, even though the individual themselves can be in that truth and they live that truth, right? But for somebody else, they looked at that and they're like, well, this person seems very arrogant because they're claiming to know something, and maybe they don't, kind of deal. So I don't know.
Okay. Hey, Nachiketa, you're right. And Julian, thank you for being patient. You've been in the back for a while. But what I've learned, the patterns of our ego, the normal conditioned tendency that everyone has grown up with, is to jump to these conclusions, to be very reactive, to make assumptions.
Agreed.
The assumptions and the judgment closes our mind, and then we stop wondering. We stop caring.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
well, yeah. Let's use that in him and Paul, and I'm sure in some way he was talking about Paul. When Paul assumes that he is a worthless guy and has nothing to offer, any of his advice is off limits to Paul. That's just logical.
That's exactly what's been happening. And try as I might, I've so far been unsuccessful in reasoning with Paul and many others. But here's the cool thing, brothers and sisters, whether or not, whatever happens with through this or around this, whatever happens, what I've learned to trust is we are part of something magical, mystical, and damn special. It's part of human history. And humans are pretty fucking amazing when they come together. When people come together with the right intentions and purpose, man, amazing, incredible things can happen.
Listen, every fucking day, I got good buddies around me. Every day, something amazing and magical happens. Every fucking day. I don't go a day without just having like that 27 blessings, bam, 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 bam.
Well, amen. But at the same time, things are happening like what just happened to all those people in Hawaii. Yeah. You know, all of a sudden, their homes, their future, their dreams are just poof, lives.
Those are directed energy weapons.
Wouldn't you rather have your share of the money go to them than into a bag of weed?
Yes, yes. Well, see, this is the thing. I am so fired up with this changing the world because, again, today in Messenger, there's a lady I've met online through Facebook, you know. I don't know if people are genuine or not, but she posts a lot of things that she's ministering a church in Pakistan, helping other ladies find God or religion. I don't know how effective, but she reached out to me today that people are going fucking nuts, man. They're attacking the Christians and the churches, and I don't know if that's true, but I know that in this world right now, there's a lot of people, man, that could use our help. And
let
so how do
Julian
we
in
help
at some point.
Yes, you know what? Please, yes, I'll stop. Julian, please. You've been patient, man.
Well, I just try to jump in where I can. I mean, I don't know. It's what are some steps you think we can take to help these people? Because again, I apparently don't know. I'm not only asking you, Jack. I'm asking Joe. I'm asking Flow State.
When you say these people,
just anybody. Anybody. What are we actually going to do about anything? Because one of the big disagreements I see between you and Paul is like he's sitting here saying, without the action, nothing's going to change. We can sit here and bitch, complain, moan.
Right.
Let him finish. Let him finish anyway.
Sorry.
Let him finish anyway.
And all it seems like is that you keep saying all we have to do is just end wars, legal secrets. I don't know how to go about doing that. I'm a pretty young guy. I've not had an opportunity to try. So what can we do? Like, I don't know.
Go ahead, Jack. I got some answers too.
I want to hear them both.
Yeah.
Number one, I can't understand how limited your mind might be that you can't imagine how to end secrets in a world that worships legislation. Okay.
That's a difficult question. I think I got some answers, but I'm not confident that I know how to end secrets and shit now.
Like I said, if I don't have any involvement in the secret, how the hell am I supposed to end it? If I don't even know what to expose, what can I do about it? I can sit here on YouTube and tell everybody that,
okay,
hey guys,
but think beyond you. Think about the fact that there are currently a lot of employees, right, willfully, by choice, obeying their bosses, obeying these non-disclosure agreements, overthrowing governments in far places, creating wars, feeding the war machine. You can't fucking figure out
how to end that?
why
No, it seems
secrets are
like a
bad.
Herculean task.
Good point. Good point. So, but let's take it back. What if you're a soldier in the army and you're taking orders, which I'm not an order follower. I'm not a fucking person who will do atrocious things just for a check. But let's say you're in the United States Army and you're being told, hey, over here in the Middle East, they're cutting off certain parts of women's genitals. They're not giving certain rights to this religious group. You're being told that you're going to free them from an oppressive another oppressive government.
Right.
So at that point, wouldn't they kind of be marching into war thinking that they're doing something beneficial, even if they're being deceived? You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Hey, I'm not in your imagination. Let's come back to here and now.
That's not my imagination. That's a real life example.
I know.
He has a great point there.
You'll find disagreements with most things I say. I recognize that.
I've agreed with you on a lot.
Let's come back to the now, please. So,
he has a great point when
I feel like
they're doing wrong because they believe that trickery. Actually, he kind of shares your logic, Jack. You believe that everybody's been tricked, as I do, and he's saying they're doing dumb shit because they've been tricked. That's all he's saying.
So let's pretend I was a soldier in that army, right? I would look at somebody who comes up to me and say, "Hey, you stupid motherfucker, you're doing something that's actually atrocious, and you're thinking it's for a good reason."
That's a favor.
I would want them to come slap some fucking sense into me, Jack.
Yes.
And that's how I see someone like Paul treating someone like you. And let me finish here. And then I see, what's this guy? HMF1C of Steve, and then fucking host.
Please let me answer this one, Jack.
I will. But these two, do you really feel like they're here to serve you, or do you think they're here just to fucking use this as an opportunity to try to get you and Paul's feathers ruffled and banging heads as opposed to working together? Demons will show themselves, Jack.
Wait. You address the last part, Jack. Let me address the first part. You see the analogy that you gave of someone telling the soldier they're doing wrong, slapping him around. Yes, that is a positive thing, and Paul has a good argument, a good leg to stand on over there. But at some point, if that's the only communication you have, that soldier is to slap him, tell him how worthless you are, you may be doing a disservice, and that's more akin to what's actually going on.
But I disagree, because I see the times where Paul's sitting there like, Jack, I feel something coming from you. I see where there is like
Julian.
Go ahead.
Do you care what is true from my perspective, or do you just want to keep
absolutely? But I care about what's true more. You know, not just
you'll
truth.
never know what is true unless you first accept and consider that my explanations might be true. Okay.
I'm listening.
Rather than assuming I'm a liar and I'm so fucking delusional, I don't know anything about me, because that is how your daddy Paul wants to present me. Okay, so you asked if I think Steve and Joe or Flo are here to support. I honestly do believe they are.
Who doubted that? Wait, who doubted me?
Julian?
I didn't include Joe in that. I included
me.
these two. They're here to make you feel good, Jack, but they're not here to help you actually advance or become better.
Julian,
they're creating conflict.
Julian, they're
creating conflict.
Julian, what I am seeing from you is you doing that which you are accusing. You are here trying to present and continue to enable Paul's disrespect of me, saying, well, if there was a soldier, you'd want to go beat him and slap him in the face. Well, Julian, I am not a soldier. I'm a fucking man who's sitting here just like you, just like Paul. I don't.
Can you relate the analogy?
I can't relate the analogy.
I know you're not a soldier, Jack. But can you relate the analogy of what I was trying to communicate with you?
Okay, but you're right. You imagine something, but where's the context and reality? Where does that apply to me? Do you think Paul's right for what he's been doing?
From what I've seen, for example,
do you think
from what I've seen,
that's the question I want to know.
What? Say that again.
Do you think Paul has been all correct with what he has thrown at me?
You better say no. It's a setup.
The past 3 times that I've come up here, you've asked me that same question, and I have had the same answer each time, and you don't hear it, Jack. It's like
All
it's
right.
just
Give me another
one
chance.
ear out the other.
Give me another
right?
chance.
Paul is a man. Paul is fallible. He can make mistakes. Do you really think most people deify him that way? I don't. Right? I think some people
Julian,
around
Was the
here.
answer
Julian,
yes
you
or
did
no
I think
not
there
before
are
you
answer
move
my
some.
on? I'm not
question.
sure.
You did
I'm not
not.
sure what the answer was. Was it yes or no before you move on so fast?
You didn't answer the question.
Do I think Paul's perfect in all of his presentments? Am I getting that correct?
Has Paul been correct in all the shit he has thrown at me? You want to bring the analogy as he's saving the world by
No, he
beating up the
is a
soldier.
man and he is fallible. He
right.
can make
Okay,
mistakes.
so Julian,
So it's
in
a clear
your
no for the third
opinion,
time on the third
can
day.
you accept responsibility in this moment? Okay.
Can you
accept responsibility for your opinion?
People up those fingers, little bitch.
Has Paul been
Look at
accurate?
the little hoe piping up. There you go. Jack, do you see what I'm saying yet? Look at this little hoe having such a hard fucking time.
Jack's
shutting
trying
the
to
fuck up.
talk to you.
I've learned
What
one
are
thing
you
about this
doing,
guy.
Julian?
If I want to orally pleasure a man, I'm going to.
He wants to orally pleasure me.
Yeah, that was good,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
This is just absolute nonsense.
He did say
guys.
if.
That was the perfect timing to cut him
Well,
off,
hey, Jack,
because I can
you know,
imagine all sorts of crazy shit coming after that statement. When I want to orally pleasure, man, click.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me more.
You know, here's the assumption. What he's thinking is that because we're up here and not using the word coddling, but we're using a little bit of positive reinforcement, he thinks that we need to have that tough love constantly. Well, not everybody is accepting of tough love. You got to read the room. You know what I mean?
I don't honestly think
Anytime
that.
someone is belittle that, you know,
I
you're
don't
going
think
to be
most of them
defensive.
believe that, really. Like, to be completely honest, I think most of them are just toxic and are finding an excuse for their own toxicity to show through.
Yep. This
Well, they're doing his
is-
dirty work for him. People in the chat, people coming up in here, you know, they're doing Paul's dirty work. He
Hey,
says he has
guys.
nothing to do with it, but
Do
they
you,
follow
do you
the fuck out
feel
of him.
that I'm doing Paul's dirty work over here, Steve?
I feel
Well, I've
you've
seen
been
you on
reluctant.
Paul's panel, and you get along just like everyone else on his panels. They get along to get along because they don't want to argue with him. You know, they
I
don't
get
want to
along
be
and
on
I
his
argue with him.
bad side because then you get the interactions me and Paul get when we're on screen time together. You know what I mean? It's oil and water. Like, I don't put up with his shit. He doesn't put up with my shit. And it's just we'll yell at each other, and then finally we'll shake hands and say, all right, we'll see you tomorrow, you know, kind of thing. But, you know, he keeps coming back and does the same shit to Jack. Like, constantly.
That didn't answer my question.
What was your question,
well,
Nachi?
your question was that do I think you're like a infiltrator or pro
Yes.
Paul? I think
No
you're playing the
sense.
fence. I think you're on the fence. I think you're just going to kind of, you know, you don't want to ruffle any feathers, and you're just kind of going to do
That's
what you
honest
want
of
to
you
do. I don't think
to
you're
give your
specifically
opinion. That
on
was
his
honest of
side.
you, bro.
Please. Thank
Does that answer
you.
your question?
I honestly, I agree with this, Nachiketa, that there has been an enabling of dysfunction. Okay, over on that platform. That is where I've spent a lot of time. That's how a lot of people know me. But this enabling the dysfunction is what is enabling the government and corporate corruption.
Agreed.
Okay, so if we can find ways at this level of life where we're not above or below each other, we're all just different beings trying to figure it out together.
Yes.
If we can find ways to get along and to communicate with each other, we actually have a lot of power.
Hey, listen,
Yeah,
here's my complaint is here's more important to me. If nigga could control himself, if I had to stop being around so many females that trigger and get offended every time a motherfucker say something, I could actually get something done. You know, every word that come out of your mouth, someone that's not the real definition, the real meaning. You know, if I gotta live with that shit.
Okay,
Well-
but like I think it's good to just set an example, you know. I mean, I
That's
think
how you
everybody
do
can
it.
agree.
That's how you
Hey,
do
you know
it.
what I mean?
That's
Like
my
you-
biggest fight. I set example.
Okay.
Yes.
One second, Joe. So like everything, you guys have the right to your opinions. Everybody's got the right to their opinions. They have their own experiences. I'm not going to be here to take anything away from anybody. I can't, even if I wanted to.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, okay, we point out the things that are not beneficial to us individually, whatever that may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we remove that from our life, right? We incorporate the positive things, because you can't say everything that you have experienced with Paul or anybody else is 100% negative. A lot of people that I've
Nope,
dealt with,
you're right.
had difficulty with on the internet, actually I've learned from. You know,
Right.
like I
Hey,
realized, what is this trigger?
Nachi,
Oh my
hold
God.
on.
Yeah. Be nice, Jack.
Well, hold on. I'm not overlooking the good, but here, what you are just, Nachi, what I want to point out to you, this is not arrogance. This is just an observation.
Just say what's in your mind.
I've shared details and the perspective that I feel there is something unique happening with my specific life. And so Nachiketa, all of you guys here on the panel, in the back and in the chat, all of you guys are part of my experience. So you can remain ignorant and just stay out of it, right? Cast no judgment or opinion. You can do nothing to resolve or to support and just continue to be entertained. Or I think there's some incredible opportunities from helping Paul develop as a young man. You know, maybe letting him understand that this hammer method of dealing with strangers is probably not the best thing for our society or himself.
But that's fine. And you don't have to. I mean, here's the thing: like, nobody can help anybody if they don't want to be helped. Would you agree with that?
Hey, amen. And someone who refuses to humble themselves to their flaws, like Paul, will never accept that he needs to change. He feels he's done nothing wrong in any part of our past interaction.
That's going to be his problem. And, you know, with any issues with anybody who's got issues, because we all got them to a degree, one way or another, we had to go through life, you know, the hard way. And it always comes up. If you repress whatever, it's going to show up later on in your life. So whether he learns it now or later, it's not my business. That's why I try to get along with people as much as I can. I try to meet them halfway, because they're okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you are enabling and making excuses. Yeah, you have this luxury. I have been the subject of unwarranted attacks on my character, absolute disrespect of my name, and you want to sit here and have me?
I want to sit here and tell you that none of it matters. I want to tell you that you don't have to care.
Hey, Nach, I know much more than you want to accept, and I appreciate what you've offered. I do have hopes for Nachiketa. He's a man of discernment, but in this particular case, I've seen a lot of people. There is a distinction and a lot of similarities between me and Paul. I see the way that the support and enabling have been. Paul hasn't supported me. He hasn't done anything to enable my success. He's been an antagonist and chosen to play the villain in my life, I guess, or I'm the villain as he likes to present. It's a bunch of nonsense. And
I mean, you got to be. Sorry.
Go ahead, Flo.
I was going to say, you got to be honest about incentives and motivations. He does not want you. He will, as long as you guys are in this paradigm, he doesn't want you to change or get better, nor will he allow it. You have to stay as a ridiculable personality for him to have the content that you provide.
Well, or here's the reality.
Nor will he allow it. That was heavy.
I am a man based upon my past. I am not ashamed of what I've accomplished. As a matter of fact, the things I've accomplished in service of others already in my life makes me prepared. I'm happy to go meet the maker. I'm satisfied with the life.
You didn't think that I just said that, did you?
No.
Okay. Sorry, carry on. Your response threw me off.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sometimes he jump stops us a little bit.
my mind sometimes steps away, and then to bring things back doesn't always make sense. But here,
We've all been there.
Justin Harris, what if it's not Paul doing it, Jack? I understand. What if God is using Paul? Is that possible? I trust that as a fact.
I was about to say that's an extreme likelihood. Yes.
What if I'm a gaslighter?
Well, the truth and the facts are going to reveal, well, the facts are going to reveal what is true. Now, Paul speaks for hours a day. I've not seen him accept accountability or responsibility for the things he says or for the interactions he offers to people. I know I've not seen any accountability from him or many others in my direct experience. And frankly, because of my past reputation, because of the way I know that I have influenced people in good ways, I'm actually a man who should be taken seriously.
Let me ask you, well, this is probably a layup question, but what do you think my reputation is to you? Sometimes I think that, what do you think I think of you? What do I think okay, I'll just be outright. I don't know about you as the failure family man. I don't know your life details. What I think you are was probably different than what other people. That never comes into my head, any of that.
You know, Joe, I respect that, because actually I think you and Flo, I won't single anyone out, but several of you do accept, right? You don't judge
We all
based
equal.
on what
We
I
all equal.
off the
I've been
past.
through mine. You've been through yours. I understand and I believe that.
Amen.
I don't agree with your socialism, but everything else.
That's that
Hey, brother.
socialism Nazi shit.
Right?
Hey, well, brother, one of these days you and I can have a deep discussion on economics, all right?
Let's do it.
I hope to. But
I like it. I'm down. Shit.
I still have Paul, Nubs, and Julian in the back.
Yes, all three of them are interesting as fuck, especially Nubs. I ain't even
Did Tommy leave?
Tommy he's felt enough disrespect, and this is the thing. I do not want to offer people disrespect, but when they refuse to accept the good I offer, when they refuse to see the kindness, they refuse to see the generosity of me. I mean, that's what kills me with Paul too. I mean, it's like, just, he won't even throw a bone just to
You heard what I said, right? I explained this already.
I know.
Okay. If you're going to start bringing the circus back up, I'm going to get off and take a shower.
You know, I am going to bring it back up just briefly, but from there,
I'm gonna hang around, Flo, and I love when you come around, bro.
Right on. Take it easy, guys.
Hey, Flo, thank you, brother. Always a blessing. Have a good night. Julian, Nubs.
A
Paul?
quick translation. If you think that psychological power game works with someone like me or anyone else with discernment, it wasn't about a circus. You're a punk ass.
No, it wasn't a power game, dumbass, and you don't need to come up here with your insecure projections. What that
Flo
was
State knows how to make men feel good. Have a good night, Jack, and good luck moving forward with somebody like him.
Yeah, amen. Thank you, Julian. I mean, what Paul fails to recognize was simply the establishment of order. And since Paul refused to bring cooperation, which is all I asked for, I only asked for cooperation to have a conversation, and the selfish prick refuses to do that.
Can I get a definition of cooperation, just for clarification, so I'm understanding, so we're all on the same page? What is the definition that you're using?
Well, okay, in the context of the word, okay, cooperation for the purpose of discussion. If you were going to apply the word cooperation for the purpose of discussion in that context, how would you describe cooperation yourself? I think you're a grown man who could fucking figure it out, you dumbass. Holy shit. fucking stupidity, man. These people don't think. And then think they're smart. You're gonna show Jack. Fuck
This
you,
is why
man.
I give Paul a break. I'm not making excuses for him because I think highly of most of these cats I've known and I consider, including Nubs. Most of these niggas you knocking off, Paul, I think highly of. And yet I can still acknowledge that there are emotional niggas. They don't understand when they're triggering. They think they're triggering in the name of truth. They get shit wrong all the time. Most of us are all in, Paul, including us. We all get it wrong. I'm a fucking point at Paul like he's different. We all get it wrong. And I could never say Paul's that perfect God, so and so, because we all get it wrong. He cannot be. We're all the same.
Amen, brother. Hey, Joe, I'm going to wrap it up.
All right, Pepe.
Thank you for joining. Truly, for those who did join, even with the interruptions and the antagonism, I respect your presence and being, your right to be you, but you can take your disrespect and your insults away from me, okay? Because I am one with me, I am one with God. And brothers and sisters, here I've got Nubs in the back making faces. I got Paul flipping me off. So
because you're so full of shit and think we don't.
Let's do that, and let's
block them.
And the next step is to simply ban your ass so that you don't return back with your negativity and your little bitterness, your little temper tantrum. Holy cows, man. Praise God. Paul offering me more disrespect in the back. It just never ends from him. And his little flying monkey Nubs, too. So, brothers and sisters, my intentions are and were, as I stated, to come on here to discuss and offer the spirit of peace. The spirit of peace is always available for us to choose. You just simply replace the conflicts, the attention and focus on conflicts and disagreements. You can find peace, and the reasons for peace are pretty illogical. I mean, to not seek peaceful resolution. What kind of honorable person does that? Avoids peaceful resolution in the face of unnecessary disagreements. Can you resolve that? That doesn't make sense to me.
Can you resolve your life?
No,
you have
can you
peace
help
in
me
your
with this
life every
question
day,
that
or do you
came
just
from
want that on the metaverse, huh?
What are you talking about?
You got a peaceful relationship with your community, your job, your family, anyone? No.
Hey, Paul.
So why don't you practice peace in your life before you come coaching on the metaverse?
Right. Is that what we do?
Right. Did I promise you money for the Talstock event?
No, I don't believe you did.
Did all your broken hosts say that I did and make false claims? Yes.
You offer me nothing.
A need to dominate others? Yes. You dominated me all broadcast while I waited in the back. Low self-control? Yes. You could.
Yep. Yes, you do. You've got a very impulsive nature. Paul has low anxiety. I don't know. He's pretty wound up most of the time I've experienced him. Paul, a tendency to blame the victim? Oh my God. Paul creates victims, finds victims, he demands victims. Nothing but fucking victim and blame. Paul, characteristics of a typical bully. Tough poise, obviously, Paul. Positive attitude towards aggression. Yep. Sounds like Nubs. Sounds like Paul. Lack of sensitivity and empathy. Yeah. Sensitivity and empathy. That's toxic femininity, right, Paul? Right? That's what you like to say. You're such a clown. Tendency towards other antisocial behavior. Yes, brother Paul, you're demonstrating these signs very clearly. A loud manner, yes, Paul. And sometimes also been victims themselves. Well, brothers and sisters, there are many people in our society today who are, does that work? It doesn't work. there's many people in our society today who do carry the characteristics of a bully. Maybe it's a boss, maybe it's a manager, maybe it's a government official, maybe it's a policeman, whatever. This bullying, uncaring, callous behavior, it's not healthy. You know, people make excuses. Oh, it's the American way. You got to toughen each other up. Iron sharpens iron, blah, 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 blah. It's a bunch of egoic nonsense, brothers and sisters, and it really is time. You know, golly geez, man, praise God. Hey, welcome, Margo.
Hi, Jack.
How are you today?
Well, I'm good. I was just listening to Paul and I saw you arguing with him. Why?
Well, he's been offering me a lot of unpleasant experiences, things that there's been no reasoning with him. He's offered no resolve. I don't know what to do, Margo.
He doesn't want resolve with you.
I know, and that is his problem. So he showed up here to bring his insults and arrogance again. So I tolerated and I tried resolving, but that's why you saw the conflicts, Margo, because Paul brought them.
Okay.
So, hey, I was about to wrap up, so hopefully that kind of clears up your observation, unless you have anything.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't like what I would say. Well, I'll just say it. I think you should listen to Paul.
Do you have any specifics?
He's not trying to fight with you. He's trying to point out, some shortcomings that we
Margo,
see.
Hey, Margo, I know you're very general, and I know your feelings towards. You're a fan of Paul. I understand that, but you've also been a fan of pretty much anyone who opposes me.
Name one other person I'm a fan of, Jack.
The Postal Service, my ex-wife. You were encouraging chemo after he was violent with me. You've been quite a fucking supporter of those who oppose me, Margo. So
I support you listening to reason, because I don't think you have a lot of it.
Hey, Margo, right?
Yes.
Reason. I'm very good with logic and reasoning.
I do not think so.
I know you don't.
With that.
I know, Margo. I know. Here, let me get to the point. The explanation you may not want to accept. Our logic and our reasoning is only as good as the information and the variables that we consider. And within all the information and the variables, we've got to discern and assign the appropriate relevance and weight towards the information. I know you and many others like to worship this information from quote unquote authority.
No, I don't have, my only authority is God. And my life is going in a pretty damn good direction, Jack.
All right.
Where is yours going?
Hey, congratulations, Margo.
Thank you.
You want to go, so without any specificity or relevance of Jack, if you listen to Paul where he said this, I believe this might help improve for you. No specificity, but go ahead. Thank you, Margo. I put you to the back. I don't need to continue this. 2.5 hours is ample, I believe. And Margo, one day, and Paul, I wish you would have learned from the example Margo offered. Even though her words, she's still working out what is true and what's not. At least, Paul, myself and others have shown you examples of people who are humble enough to recognize when they're wrong. And brothers and sisters, this world will have a day of reckoning. There will be a call to Jesus moment, so to say, I'm anticipating, where people wake the fuck up to what is true. Maybe that was an unnecessary profanity. I apologize for that. But I know for a fact that what is true is now. See, this is just remarkable. Julian, you're such a bootlicker. I'm assuming this is the same Julian that was up here on the panel. Fucking sad to watch you choose the same path over and over, Jack. Hey, dumbass. Do you think I'm asking to be insulted and disrespect? Second guessed about every choice I make, spending time with Paul, not spending time with Paul. What the hell? You guys are delusional. Okay? Many of you are absolutely out of your mind. You have no direct association with reality. It's happening all around the world, brothers and sisters. People are lost in their minds. They've lost control over their body in the moments of experience because they're looping. Paul is an example. Nubs is another. There's many who have been brought forth into my experience for the purposes of me learning. Unfortunately, it seems the others are opposed to learning, particularly from someone like me, but I know for a fact those people are foolish. So brothers and sisters, for those of you who did tune in to learn, to receive some of the truth, some of the encouragement, some of the light I am trying to offer, the light of love, the light of peace, the spirit of peace through the power of truth, it brings us healing. But only you can accept or admit what is true for you. But if you're going to admit something, if you're going to permit words out of your mouth, please, for the love of God, for the love of your future, and for the love and care of the people around you, start caring about what is true. Just because you think a thought does not mean that reality and facts support what you think, Paul Unslaved. Your denial is... I would love to help you see what you've been ignoring, but do you have any interest in changing any of your opinions?
No, you're not.
Okay. So Paul wants to continue his negativity and his closed-mindedness, claiming to be flawless. He offers no apologies in the light of anything he does or says to anyone. Holy cows. Hey, brother. Sorry to have you in the
on
back
that track we started on, Jack.
Well, I didn't mean to take my ending so long.
No. I mean, it started out me and you one-on-one, and you said you were here to be away today. Now I do test your truth, and you test my brotherly humanness, because I didn't want to come back. But I realized, hey, I spent $2 to tell you a thing. I better make it worth it. Now, do you see how we can turn this whole 3 hours into like a progressive, like, progress? Like, do you see how you did the same thing as Paul today? You had to throw your perception in front of truth. And Julian's right.
No,
that's not
no.
truth. When you were Paul, both...
Whoa. See, this is part of the egoic patterns. When someone is speaking truthfully, their truth is true until such time as the facts contradict what is true. But I am honest in my experience with Paul, with Nubs. It's not been pleasant. It's not been helpful. It's not been fulfilling. And they have not been honest. Okay? So, Tommy, here's something I know. Those of you who have come into my life, many of you have done a lot of inner work, a lot of self-development, as have I. So why you're so opposed to looking at yourself when I say, hey, or when others say, hey, you should see this in yourself. Tommy, for the world to change, we've got to start understanding each other. The only way to understand each other is to accept the truth from others. So I'm not saying everyone is honest. I'm not saying blindly believe everything, but fuck, oh dear, we do not have to have so many arguments. We do not have to have so many disagreements. We do not have to have wars and oppression. We do not have to have selfishness. And someone mentioned it earlier. At the time, I didn't really get the chance to respond regarding Paul and his interactions with me and others. Well, those people who find pleasantness within themselves are able to offer pleasant experiences with others, are able to offer some hospitality and respect. And while I had to put some unruly guests away to maintain order for today's conversations, I try to offer hospitality and respect to all those who come into my experience, whether it's online or in person. And brothers and sisters, if all of us start doing that, this world is going to change. Change is magical. Change is mystical. Change brings the new. And the new can bring better. And I see better in the future for us. And part of my better future is going to be separating myself from Paul. So it appears. I've tried repeatedly to find agreement or some method to even have a conversation about how we could work together, but apparently my requests are too much. Fuck, oh dear, selfish people don't care. Brothers and sisters, till next time, peace, choose love, peace for everyone. It's available now. Find peace and share it through love and gratitude and praise and joy. Live without fear.